Hello all, in this video I'll be explaining what is an instruction cycle. So before we begin with the flowchart, first of all let us try and understand what is an instruction. Okay, so here in this corner I have some few instructions written down. We know the definition of a program. Program is nothing but a collection of instruction. Okay, so here two examples. Here on this side I have one piece. It's not the entire program, it's three lines of that program. Okay, and each line we know what is it? It is an instruction. Okay, so here this is our C program that you people have been doing. Okay, so here also we have these are your different line of instruction, or let us say simply instructions, and each of the instruction is stored in a memory address. As I have drawn this cell, this is one memory address in which I have written one instruction is residing. Similarly, second memory address, third memory address. Here also the first memory address, even I've given the value also 001. This is the first address where the entire instruction is written. Similarly, the next, then the next, and these are the different instructions. So instructions are basically stored in different memory cells. And when we have to execute, like when you compile this program, then we are going to each instruction and executing it. Okay, so we'll understand now what are the steps that we have to take when an instruction gets executed. Okay, so that is when we will try and understand what is instruction cycle. So each instruction is picked up from there. Okay, these instructions are picked up one by one and they undergo this cycle and hence get executed. All right, so let us try and understand. It's a very simple topic. Before we go inside the flowchart, we have to understand that whenever an instruction executes, it undergoes three steps or three phases. First of all, fetching. Next is decoding and execute. Now first is fetch. Okay, so these three steps, very important, these three phases, they make up what is known as instruction cycle. Now we'll understand each of it as we go inside the flowchart, the instruction cycle flowchart. First of all, okay, first we'll discuss this segment later. First let me explain what happens. Okay, so we go to instruction number 1. Let us say here instruction number 1 is load A. So we have to first concentrate on that, take that up. Okay, do fetching, do decoding, and do execution. All right, so focus on the first instruction. First of all, now we all know that it is residing in a memory. Okay, in a memory address. So first of all, we have to take it out, and taking out instruction from the memory happens in this first step, which is fetch. As you understand the meaning of fetch, fetch from memory what? The instruction. Okay, so fetch instruction from memory. Take that whole instruction out from the memory. Only when it is out, then only you can think of executing it. So the first phase, as we have discussed, is fetch. So first of all, we'll fetch the entire instruction. So once it is out, okay, so we'll take it out and it will take the instruction out and we will put it in a register. Okay, maybe IR, you must have heard of IR. It is one type of register. It is called instruction register. Then from their register, we'll try to see what is inside. We cannot straight away execute it. Okay, we will try to see what is inside and try to decode it. Decode means try to simplify what is inside. Okay, try to separate things inside that instruction, because we know in the instruction we have operation, we have operands, so we have to do simplification, separating of operands and opcodes. Okay, operation and opcodes, and then do some effective address calculation. So that is what happens after fetching. Decode, simplify the instruction. Okay, so decode the instruction, separate your operation code, see what operation is there. Okay, and check where are the operands. So simplify that. Okay, and then EA, if you see the actual flowchart, you will come across this term effective address. That means what is the actual address of the operand. Here in this example, we have our opcode is load. We have to do loading operation, and our operand is A. So we have to find out what is the address of A. Where can I find the value of A? Similarly, in the next one, where can I find the value of B and the opcode? So opcode is load, operand is B. So we have to know that in this particular process called decode. Okay, nothing executes here. It's just decoding. So we decode what is the instruction here. That is the second part. Fetch, then decode. Okay, and then before we execute, we know that the third step is execute. Then we have to do a check. Check means here we have to see after decoding, after simplifying the instruction, have you encountered any branch here? To understand it more properly, look at the second program. Okay, in the second program, if you see here, the first line is the normal declaration, then assignment, and come to this third line, where we are calling function sum. If you remember, in a C function we can call, in a C program we can call functions. So here we are calling functions. So in the next, after this line, okay, this line is 110. From this line, we cannot go to the next location. We have to go to the location where sum is defined. Okay, so maybe sum is defined not in the adjacent location, but somewhere down, somewhere after some gap of cells it is defined. So we have to take a branch here. Are you getting it? Branch means I don't have to go to the next location like I did from line 1 to line 2, line 2 to line 3, but from line 3 I don't go to, from line 4 I don't go to line 5. I will take a branch. I will go to some other line, let us say line 10. So in that case, I'm doing a branching here. So after every decoding I have to check whether branch is encountered or not. So that is exactly what is checked in this particular, whether you have done, you encounter any branch or not. If you have encountered the branch, then you go this side. That we'll discuss later. Then we'll go to, let's say it's normal instruction, one after another happening. So we go no branch. Okay. So in that case, if it is no branched, then we do fetching of the operands. Mind you, this is fetching of instruction. We have taken the entire instruction. Now it's time for us to fetch the individual operands. Let us say, for example, for this instruction, in this particular step, we have taken the entire instruction, load A as a whole. And then in this step, we understand that, okay, load is the opcode and operand is A. So here we go to the address of A to get the value. Okay, so this is fetching of operand. Don't get confused. This is fetching of the entire instruction, and this is fetching of the individual operands, and that also again from memory. So you fetch operand. So by the time you have fetched operands, okay, you have calculated the opcode also, then everything is ready in your hand. Then you can call the final step, which is execute. So see how we have done fetching two types, then decoding, okay, and then once you have decoded and got this operand values also, then we finally everything is in our hands, so we call execute instruction. Okay, so execute means if it is like here, if it is load, then we do the loading of A value from address A. Okay, loading of B, and if it is this instruction number 3, then we do adding. Okay, this is executing of addition operand or addition on operand A value and B value. So that is execute, getting the actual result. Okay, then after that, like we have checked in this part, we'll do another check. This time it is the check for the interrupt. Mind you, these are two different things. Now here, to understand it better, let's come to this example that we have seen earlier. Okay, we have seen that when we are in this line, they call the function and then we do the branch. Okay, so that is our internal branching. Every time you run the program, every time you run, you come to this line and then you do branching. But interrupt is something external. It is not related to the program. Interrupt is, let's say this CPU was busy with this program, and then let's say the printer had some problem, and then the CPU had to pause this and go to the printer. Okay, or maybe some other output was ready, so the processor had to stop this and go to that to check the output or any input. So that means some signal has occurred, and then this program had to be interrupted. Okay, so two different things. Branching is within the program, and interrupt is something outside, external signal coming in, and then in that case you have to pause the program. Pause the program means leave this program behind wherever it is, and then go and see which other program is calling, do that program and come back. Okay, so that is your interrupt. Okay, I repeat, branch is internal, interrupt is external. All right, so understanding that thing, we go here. So after every execution of the instruction, we have to check whether any interrupt is there or not, interrupt is pending or not. Then if yes, if some external factor is coming in, then we do what? Then we have to leave this program for some time. Okay, pause the program, let's say, and we have to go and do the handling of the interrupt. So for the timing, you understand that to handle the interrupt, we have to call program number 2. Let us say we were in program number 1, and then after being interrupted, we have to go to program number 2, which will do the interrupt handling. Okay, so interrupt handling, and so interrupt handle up. So we load that new program, and then very important step is update PC. PC, what is the full form? Program counter. Okay, program counter is the register which holds the address of the next instruction. So whenever interrupt takes place, we know that the address of the next instruction will not be addressed within this program. It will be the address of the new program, external program. So in that case, we have to load a new value. So in loading a new value, that will be provided with the interrupt program. Okay, so that is very important, that after we interrupt, we know that PC will not be the normal next address. It will be produced from some interrupt program. That might be an entirely new address. Similarly, when we have understood that, we can go back to the branch. We know branch come to this branch. Branch had occurred when we were here in this particular line. Still hazy. Let's wait for some time. The sum. Okay. The sum. All right. So we were here in 110, and the next is branching. So after that, from 110, we don't go to the next location. We take a jump. Okay. So 110. So it is not normal updation of PC. It's not normal. Okay, it is from a jump. Okay, so because it is coming from a jump, it has to be externally provided, the value. So in both these cases, branch and interrupt, our PC has to be updated to a new value. In branch, some new value, because it's not our normal next location. And similarly, interrupt also, it's not our normal next location. It is a location of a new external program. So both the cases, we are doing this updating of PC. So we update the PC, and here they are talking of pipe, and when you talk about pipe, we'll also talk about segments. Okay, so you must have heard about parallel pipeline. Okay, so for the timing, just understand that parallel pipeline means executing of more than one instruction parallelly. Okay, so here one instruction was being executed in that pipe. Okay, one pipe. There are many pipes. Parallelly in the pipe, instructions are getting executed at the same time. Alright, so now when we are doing branching or interrupting, what happens is that we are leaving the current program. Okay, in branch we have left the upper half of the program. We are now loading the new half. Similarly, interrupt, we are leaving the old program and getting the new program, new external program. So in that case, we have to empty the pipe, the normal pipe. So we are emptying the pipe and getting the new section of instructions. So after branch, whatever instruction was there, we'll bring it into the pipe, and after interrupt, whatever new external program was there, we'll load it inside the pipe. Okay, so that is why it is called empty pipe and update PC. These two operations we do when we have branch and interrupt. And normal, if there is no branch and interrupt, it's normal fetch, decode, execute. Fetching first is the instruction as a whole. Then you simplify it, separate your opcode, separate your operands, know exactly where the operands are located by calculating effective address, then check branch. If not, then fetch the operand. We have already made it ready, the address here, so we go to that address and find the operand. We know what is an opcode, perform that opcode. That can be add, multiply, loads, store, all that executed on the operands and get the result ready. Okay, and these extra check is where the branch and interrupt. So that explains the 3 phases of the instruction cycle. Thank you.